Hey everyone, it's Joy here for Tailored Expressions, and I am super excited to share the new Catchin Waves Foil It card panels. So today I'm going to be using two of these card panels, but we're also going to be using the return of the Floaties Stamp and Coordinating Die, and these images are cute. And then here are the four in one pack. You get these four different waves and bubbles, which is so super cute. And then the new Cookie Monster Fun Foil. I'm also going to be using Cookie Monster Enamel Dots, Candy Corn and Bubblegum Cardstock, Oreo ink, candy corn and bubblegum ink, and foam sticky circles. Okay, let's start with some sugar cube cardstock in the Misty. I've got my two images. I also have my sentiments, but I'm actually going to re-stamp those a little bit later. I'm inking these up with Oreo ink because I want to do some Copic coloring. So I'm going to get a good, nice, dark impression, and we are going to color these two cute little critters. So I picked the bear and the otter, and I just thought that these floaties were cute. These little critters were so cute. I love to color critters like this. And so this is quick and easy coloring on these guys. And I'm kind of doing a color, I want my colors to coordinate with each one of my cards. So I'm going to take colors from the floaties to incorporate with cardstock and sentiments. So now we've got our cute little bear colored. I do want to color his muzzle and his belly a little bit lighter. And I'm using like a kind of a brownish gray for him, and then we will just use a brown for the otter. And then a little bit of a dark gray for the nose. And then of course he's floating in his cute flamingo, which obviously we need to make pink. So I'm going to go a darker at the bottom of the flamingo, then a middle color, and then a lighter color on the top. So I'm using R85, 83, and 81 for this pink flamingo here. Adding in some of that dark back in just because it tends to blend out once you kind of get all of your colors nicely blended. I like to go back in and add a little bit of a dark color. Then let's do our cute otter here. I'm just gonna do browns like I mentioned before. And I'm starting with my darker color. I like to start where I think shadows are gonna be. I am definitely not an expert. It's just where I like to place it. I think it does not have to be perfect, so wherever you like that, you can place it. And then I'm doing a medium color and then a lighter color. I did decide as I was coloring it to bring the medium color all the way down to his muzzle and then do his muzzle in a really light color along with his belly. It just seemed to work a little bit better. And I did add a little bit of that R81 to the inside of the ears over the brown and the gray just to kind of mute that pink just a little bit. His floaty is going to have yellow, orange, and turquoise because it's got these cute stripes, and I just thought that's a fun color combination. So I'm going to start with yellow in the center. We will do an orange at the bottom and then the turquoise teal color at the top. I'm starting on the outside edges with all the colors with the darkest, then blending with the medium, and then right in the center it's all going to be light. So it looks like it has a little bit of a highlight area, and we will add some more details to these images a little bit later. I'm using the coordinating dies to die cut these out, so I'm going to tape this with some low tack tape and run it through my die cut machine. Now I have my Minc machine turned on to number 5. It's nice and hot, and these are the two foil sheets that we're going to use. I liked the bubbles for the bear with his floaty like he's in the pool, and then the otter I feel like obviously needs to be in the ocean. And that's the Cookie Monster Fun Foil. And let's peel this back. I like to let it cool down for just a second and then peel it back slowly. And let's take a look at this beautiful foil. I love this so much. But we're going to add a little something to our foiled backgrounds. I'm going to use BG 11 and 10 on this one here. I am not going to color in all of the waves. I am just coloring in some of the areas on each line of waves to give it a little bit of color, but really I don't personally want to take away from all of that foil, but I did want to have a tiny bit of color. So super, super simple. On the left-hand side, I'm doing with the darker BG 11 and then blending out with the BG 10. Now this one I'm going to use BG 13 and 11 for the bubbles only. I'm not going to color in anything else, but I thought adding just a little bit of color to these elements, to these background foilet panels, just gives you a little extra something, and it doesn't take long to color it. Now I'm restamping these sentiments. So Go With the Float is going to be stamped with Bubblegum ink. And then the sentiment that says It's Your Day is going to be stamped with candy corn ink. So these are again going to coordinate like I mentioned before. And I'm using my grid paper in the background to line up my sentiment to make sure I'm straight, because this is the red rubber you can't see. So I'm using that grid paper behind, and then I'm stamping it on my sugar cube cardstock. I want to add a little something behind the sentiments, so I'm going to adhere it to its coordinating colors of cardstock, which is bubblegum and candy corn, and I'm going to trim those out. So our card panels are going to have a mat, and our sentiment is going to have a mat, and everything is nicely color coordinated. I added some foam sticky circles behind my critters and my sentiments, and we can get these placed on the background. I am going to tilt this guy just a little bit so it looks like he's floating in all of those waves, and I will tuck that sentiment right underneath that flamingo. Then we have our otter here. I'm going to place him towards the top a little bit. I want his head a little bit kind of even with those top waves, and then our sentiment will go up in that white space. I am using some white gel pen to add highlights, especially to the floaties, because we want those to look shiny. I did add a little bit of dots to the teddy bear's cheeks, a little bit of highlight mark on each one of their noses, and those are super cute. And then I'm going to finish off with the Cookie Monster enamel dots, just a few on each card panel to give it a little something extra. And I'm going to place these. There's 3 different sizes, which I personally love, different sizes of sequins and enamel dots. Let's take a look at these up close. Look at how pretty that foil is, and just a little bit of coloring added a lot. And then these bubbles stand out, and those cute little critters are just absolutely darling. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. You can find all of these products at the Tailored Expressions web store at tailoredexpressions.com.